You alright, guys? Welcome back to the second stream of the day. Officially, the New York opening session. Let me just get the links out, send them out, and then we can go straight for it. That should be different. Yeah, so welcome. Good afternoon. It has officially ticked over to 12 o'clock. Let me have a little look, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this morning, amazing trades. Okay, very well put together. You're right. How you doing, my man? Yeah, so gold. We took some profit up here. Beautiful push up higher. Oil, again, beautiful structure. We took profit on this bottom here. I mean, it pushed up, it pushed further down. But again, I mean, perfect trades. So yeah, if you were involved this morning, hats off. It was a successful morning for trades. Now, in terms of crypto is a little bit different. Um, yeah, it's not moving how it really should. In all fairness, the dollar has pushed up quite high. Hasn't changed since the end of this morning's live stream. We pushed up. We pushed up a little bit more towards that 50 moving average, and pulling back a little bit. Hence why, I mean, Bitcoin's come back down to this 200, this previous level of support, and finding, kind of pushing up again. Matic, back at this support level. We are potentially going to add a little bit more margin here. Just want to let it develop a little bit longer. I'm pretty sure we've just received some. Oh no, we've got data coming out in 29 minutes from the US. It isn't major data, but it is some data, that's for sure. So yeah, worth keeping an eye on. So we got core durable goods order, as well as manufacturing PMI and services PMI. That comes out a little bit later, but the first bit of US data that we get is that core durable goods orders that comes in. I don't expect a huge movement of it, but it is a little bit of data. The majority of data, I think, is coming in on that manufacturing PMI and services PMI. That's what we want to have a look, and that will be it in terms of data for the whole week. Okay, so yeah, let's see what we can get. Obviously, we're still ahead of the New York Open, so we got a little bit of volatility or potential volatility to come into the market. So yeah, let's see how things kind of play out here. Yeah, we'll scout some stuff out. As always, anyone that's just joining us, feel free to message in the chat any TA that you want us to go over. All good. We're more than happy to go over that for you. But yeah, let's see what we can get. Today's already been a very good day. Like I said, capitalized on oil, capitalized on gold. So yeah, it's more on the crypto side. We want to see what we can get on the crypto side here, really. So yeah, let's get it. Yes, Ryan, let's do it. Welcome. Yeah, big morning. It's just crypto isn't giving us that umph. It's lost it at the moment, but hopefully we can get a nice push back up. It has come and revisited this level of support, still holding that trend line as well. Yeah, I mean, obviously for those that didn't join us this morning, the way that we're looking at things is a push back up in structure towards the top here, finding some supply, sellers coming in and then actually coming and making that break. Now, it could very much be mistaken. We could never actually make that break, and we could actually just dip past and break through this trend line. Now, if that's the case, then just expect these altcoins to really move down as well. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if things start to look weak, we'll get out of these longs and we'll simply just switch it over. Let's go short and look for that break, because I mean, whichever way Bitcoin kind of moves, if it pushes up here, some of these altcoins will really move. But if we get a breakdown, that's where the kind of majority of the impact on the altcoin market or the overall market will come. Okay, so if we do actually get a breakdown, you'll be safer. You don't need to be so nitpicky in terms of trades. Whereas if we are going to break up, you kind of it's safer to pick those altcoins that have already set up quite nicely. So yeah, let's see what we can get. I mean, Bitcoin dominance has really done a whole load of nothing. In all fairness, it does look like we're going to make a little bit more of a push here, and then potentially come down for a deeper rebound. So yeah, we're keeping a close eye on Bitcoin dominance, that's for sure. It's important. We are at that resistance level, so we'll see how things kind of play out. This week has been a very good week. Well, another fantastic week. Just bear in mind, next week is the final week of the month, as well as the final week of Q1. Okay, so yeah, it's an important week. Should see some nice volatility. And then yeah, first week of April. I don't see too much happening. I mean, now one thing that we do need to bear in mind is yeah, we could experience some volatility around that. Normally, obviously, you do get a little bit of profit taking before the financial year is done. So do bear that in mind. You could see a bit of a turnaround. Okay, so we do need to bear that in mind. Now, in the previous updates that we put out, we did say, and we have mentioned, that April and May are normally red months. Okay, there is a saying in trading, sell May or sell May away. So yeah, April, May normally are red months. So let's see how things can play out here. It's a data-driven market, so we're going from data point to data point. So again, very crucial that we look ahead at the data that we are supposed to be getting. Core PCE prices to come in next week, as well as US GDP, which is going to be important. Okay, we're still looking for those signs and continuations in terms of those signs for the recession. Okay, things are coming up in terms of signaling. Okay, probably looking at a recession happening, and potential cut in interest rates. Okay, so that's the word around town. So again, we'll continue looking at those CME forecasts and see if anything actually changes materially in terms of expectations. But yeah, it's been an interesting month, been a good month. Yeah, this week has kind of tailed off a little bit in terms of kind of the volatility and how kind of prices are moving. Okay, the previous 2 weeks were very, very nice. Structure amazing, moving exactly how things really should move. Kind of easy to read. But yeah, I mean, let's see what happens. What's this? No real-time data. So let's see if. Okay. Okay. So did we get a break? What's happened here? Oh, so we got a break. Wow. Okay. Okay. That's a bit of a shame. This has stopped. Okay. So by the looks of it, where have we come to? Bear with me. Uh, fuck. Okay. Bear with us. Well, thank you for not loading up um, my chart. Okay, so by the looks of it, we got a break. Let me just analyze what the hell is going on. So we got a break. It's coming to retest. It's a bit dangerous here, to be honest. Let me have a little look. Is everything just not working today, or right? Okay, right. Why is it not working? So we got that break here, right? Come over here. Got it, got it, got it. I mean, this is proper gone down. Solana, let's have a little look at Solana. It was looking pretty nice. Mm. Give up on that. Right, this is a bit. Things have changed now. Right, so we're coming up. We're testing this now as resistance. So this is your bottom of your range just here. We could very, very, very well. And we've got a minute and a half. Turn and move down and move this over.
their largest amphibious landing drills this year. TikTok CEO faced tough questions from a House committee looking into Chinese government influence on the video sharing app. Representative Frank Pallone.
The Chinese Communist government could require TikTok to compromise device security, maliciously access
LTC for short. Let me have a little look.
TikTok CEO Shu Chu says that isn't happening because the Chinese government does not control TikTok.
There are more than 150 million Americans who love our platform, and we know we have a responsibility to protect it.
That's really throwing a spanner in the works, doesn't it? It's not.
One of former President Trump's lawyers, Evan Corcoran, must testify and share evidence about the handling of classified documents found at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Meanwhile, we're still waiting to see if a Manhattan grand jury will decide to indict the former president. Live from the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studios, this is Global News, 24 hours a day.
This looks quite nice as well.
I'm Michael Barr, and this
I quite like that. Where's Litecoin? Litecoin. Yeah. I don't like it as much as this, to be honest. I like the look of this. Make that break of that trend line would be very nice. Still looking weak as well. Yeah, I think take a short here on Zell.
Are you getting the service and support you need to overcome today's obstacles and challenges? Are you confident in the stability of your counterparty? Do you need help expanding your investor network? Do you have the latest allocator insights on investment strategies? Whether you're looking for customized financing, securities lending solutions, or capital introductions, Pershing is an award-winning prime broker committed to providing exceptional service and dedicated to meeting your needs. So you can focus on growing your business and producing results for your
Just have a little double check on here.
Unique and industry-leading solutions for hedge funds and other alternative managers. Visit Pershing.com. Pershing LLC, member FINRA, NYSE.
the market's in focus. Every business
Okay, so we still got
with Paul Sweeney and Matt Miller.
that room there.
that you want to have more or less exposure to. These equity indexes.
Yeah, we're taking a short on Zell, guys.
Apple here.
From Bloomberg Intelligence, Bloomberg Opinion, and influential newsmakers.
The bond market was the boss.
The Tape with Paul Sweeney and Matt Miller. Subscribe
Okay.
today on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. No one covers the world like Bloomberg.
I've never seen anything like it. This was a decision that maybe was the best out of three very bad decisions, but it could prove to be a mistake. She opposed Powell's
And I quite like the look of this as well. This could really, really ramp down.
at the Fed. Expecting the chippy here in Brussels today. This is a meeting that happens regularly, but obviously today it will be all about the banks.
Bloomberg, your global business authority.
We obviously are watching it very carefully. We've been very heavily involved in the last 2 weeks in all of that. And I'm encouraged by the signs in the UK banking system. I think we've got a banking system that is safe and sound, and of course it's one that people can rely on. That's the thing we must have, is a banking system that people can rely on. Now, I'm optimistic on that. I do think the banks are in a strong position in this country.
Rinse and repeat, that was Governor Bailey, but that's been pretty much everyone worldwide. Europe, the UK, the United States.
Jesus, fucking OMG up 17%.
Saying their financial
Absolute flying.
trust and your deposits are safe.
Even Australia, the head of the governor of the Royal Bank of Australia coming out being like, Reserve Bank of Australia, excuse me, coming out and saying, our system is strong and people aren't buying it. And so what's it going to take?
Right now, bank stocks are lower. First Republic's down 4.5%. Over to Europe, UBS is down about 6% over in Swiss trading. Deutsche Bank's down 14%. Maria Tadeo is in Brussels, where finance ministers are meeting, and Maria joins us now. Maria, what's on the agenda here?
Let's try and find something that looks good. Something else.
But I can tell you it's been absolutely
Give me some red.
We know that in this meeting, by the way, Madame Lagarde, the head of the ECB, met with European leaders, 27 of them. It was a meeting behind closed doors, no phones allowed. Obviously, the information there is being kept very tight lipped. There was supposed to be a final press conference today.
This is interesting. It's come and tested that 50 moving average as support. Now this still does look weak. Now we did break through that trend line. We've got this one acting as our resistance. Yeah, that's doesn't look too bad. It's coming. Could break. Come right to here. Got a little bit of a range just there.
In the post-2008 world, how much does that cohere with the rhetoric that you're hearing from European leaders over there in Brussels?
Look, it's a very difficult question to answer because we have not really had any access to European leaders.
It's coming testing that level of well, that trend line acting well as new resistance. If we are able to hold, that could very much come down.
But it has been so well protected, the information of the discussions about the state of the economy and obviously by implication and extension, the banking sector. We are waiting for a number of countries potentially to brief us, but overall, not a lot has come through out of this. The line, the standard line, however, up until yesterday was again European banks.
When Lambo. I haven't heard that phrase for a while. Not sure, man. It's not going to be this week. Well, we've only got today, tomorrow, and Sunday, but yeah, it's not gonna. Don't even think it's gonna happen next week either. I mean that move down. It's gone back in. Got a little bit of a shake up. One thing I don't get is why is Binance decided to stop feeding information to TradingView. Now look how behind it's just paused right there. Need that structure. So we get data coming out in 9 minutes. Right, let me get rid of all of this then. What's this?
Well, absolutely, and I think like the central banks need to be very careful there. I understand that the Fed as well as the ECB both said like, okay, we are focusing on inflation, the job is not done, and we are not want to create the impression that we have to tap the brakes here immediately because that would then send the signal that there's something bigger wrong in the system. But still, I feel like that.
Okay, so there's potentially the top of your range. There's potentially the bottom. Got 30k here, 29. This area here. Alright, just bear with me whilst I get some TA back up on here. Because Binance's chart has decided to give up. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to start from top to bottom. So, yeah, this is your key pivotal price range for Bitcoin. Okay, this is make or break area. Okay, above bullish, below could see a major turnaround at this level if it fails to really push above it. Okay. So. So the way that I'm looking at things is still a kind of another little leg from here, bam, up to about 30 to 32, and then see a much larger move back down. So I'm still expecting a little bit more upside. Now for the rest of the week, probably see things just ranging, continue within this range. So top, your bottom, and things just simply moving in between. Yeah, so this looks like we could turn around, come and actually test the bottom of that range. At the moment, we haven't really come and tested it again. That was a strong test. I'm seeing potential break here. And we're coming back to test that. Trend line. See. So we're looking good. APT. I need something good. See what we can get. Ooh, this looks good. So some of you might be asking, okay, what I'm actually looking for. I'm looking for a break of a trend line. That's where I'm going to get the majority of volatility and a bigger move. So, for instance, Litecoin, right? It broke out, so essentially, yeah, okay, you're going to get a move, but that move has already occurred here. So from here, this entry, it's only you're more than likely to stop here, which is still a good move. I'm not denying that's not a good move, but ideally I want something that's really going to break out, okay, rather than rebound, if that makes sense. So yeah, even something like this, like Matic, for instance, you got that trend line. And looking for is that breakout, because if Bitcoin makes that move, okay, and things break out through here, that's breaking out a structure, because at this point here you could rebound, push up high, but if we break through this level and come beneath it, that whole bullish sentiment gets cancelled. That's where you start to get more liquidations, more short selling, and yeah, that's where you get the larger move occurring. That's what I'm interested in. So, news in 5. Yeah, 2 minutes away. We get some news. Yeah, it's not too far away. It's not major news, in all fairness. You get some Canadian news, actually. Core retail sales, manufacturing sales, retail sales, wholesales. So there's going to be a little bit of volatility in the FX. I'm concentrating on the crypto right now. The FX came in this morning. Oil and gold. Let's have a look. US, yeah, things have moved already. Look at that. You might get a move here on CAD's yen. But again, look at everything's moved. A lot of this has just been already anticipated for the news to come out. I mean, look at that. It's gone. Yeah. Moves have already occurred.
The Fed's job number one is fighting inflation.
Subscribe to Bloomberg Daybreak U.S. Edition today on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Looking at it potentially.
With so many accounting firms merging and expanding, are you getting the attention and responsiveness you need?
Yeah, this is looking good. I like this. By the way, guys, those that are just joining us, welcome, 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 welcome. We have taken a short position on ZIL. Okay, we've taken a short position on here. So if you want to get involved, get involved. We're looking at that break of that trend line, right? Now, I've got my eyes on FTM as well. I think it's worth getting in, giving it a pop. Don't want to overdo it today just because it is Friday. It is the last day of the week. And this, I mean, that was a pretty decent rebound. So, again, do just need to be careful with things here. This is kind of finding resistance. Still got room to come up a bit. But this could trigger a little bit of an increase. You could get something like that on the dollar. So just need to be cautious. But yeah, anyway, those that are just joining us, feel free to message us in the chat section. More than happy to answer any of your questions. Okay. Here's your economic data. Core durable goods orders. There you go. I'll let him speak.
A little bit old, and it goes back to before the banking problem, although I don't know whether that would influence you to buy a new Boeing or not. The durable goods orders fall 1% after a 4.5% drop the month before. Ex-transportation is flat, and capital goods orders, non-defense ex-air, which is the one that the economists watch because it's essentially a proxy for business spending. That one is up 0.2% after an 0.8 increase the month before. These are the non-revised numbers. I'm still looking for the revised numbers on those, but it looks like still a little bit of expansion in terms of business spending, but not a huge amount. With the headline number, and that's what I need to find here, what we usually see is it's heavily influenced by Boeing because those jets are really, really expensive. So I'll take a quick look here and see non-defense aircraft were down down 56.3% for the month of December and January. In January to February, they were down 6.5%. So Boeing taking a lot out of the first 2 months of the year, Lisa, but overall, the initial impression is it's not terrible, but this obviously isn't going to influence the Fed in any way.
Or markets. I'll give you a chance to parse through some of it. Not seeing a big change in markets, but we've been talking all week about how economic data doesn't seem to matter nearly as much, with the focus very much front and center on the banking situation and whether we see more stresses emerge in the financial system. Mike, as we really think about that, it is important to question the underlying strength of the economy and underlying inflationary impulse, particularly on the services side. How much have you seen this ongoing divergence with weakness, downside surprises to the good side of the economy, even at a time when you continue to see upside surprises in services?
Yeah, and you look in the under the hood here of the numbers, and machinery orders were down, computer orders were down, communications equipment orders were down. So ultimately, this doesn't come out as good as maybe the headline would suggest. Not that it was great, but you have some of the key parts of the U.S. industrial economy seeing a slowdown in orders from business. So it's not as good a news as you might think. We also saw the prior month's numbers, the January numbers, revised down.
All right, let's see what we can get.
Half on the headline to -5 on the headline, and the
Could very much push back into structure, so just be aware of that. Hopefully we can find support quickly on the dollar and then make a move up. That would be fantastic. This, I mean, these altcoins are looking weak. They are looking weak.
That we are on hinterhooks trying to understand whether the banking crisis.
Let me get rid of that a little bit.
Comparing these ideas of the economic data and
But yeah, so here comes your Canadian data.
chief economist at the conference board data.
I mean, you got a little bit of a change. To be fair, retail sales month on month 1.4% compared to 0.5% from previous month. Yeah, I mean, also manufacturing. But you got a little bit of a reaction here. Yeah, that's continuing to push up. Right, next data is more US data. So got US manufacturing PMI, services PMI, coming out at 1:45 or 1:45 UK time. So got a little bit of a gap, about an hour. Let's see what we can get. Yeah, I quite like this look of Phantom. It's been very weak for a while now. We're holding on to this level here, so looking relatively good for a breakdown lower. So yeah, let's see how things gonna play out.
Short-term and long-term ventures. So I think the pressures will probably be more on businesses relative to consumers.
Does this also shift your view on how much unemployment could go up, or do you think that we could get this downturn?
Woo! There goes gold. We can get rid of that anyway. We've cashed in very nicely. See how perfectly that went to that take profit. Ooh. Beautiful. Da 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 da. Oh, that's a good reaction. Yeah, let's see what we can get. Things are looking okay. I'm going to have to give it a little bit of time just to brew ahead of the New York Open. That's essentially where we get the move. But, yeah, at least we're positioned. If things move a little bit, again, we'll position a little bit better. Yeah. That chart kind of screwed us over a little bit, I'm not going to lie. And it's still offline. Still offline. No real-time data. The problem's on exchanges side. Our data vendors on the issue. Well, yeah, I would have liked to had that in real time personally. It's not exactly fantastic, is it? So yeah, I mean that definitely broke through all the way down to where we go. Yeah, all the way down to that structure there, just yeah. Is what it is. It is what it is.
above the 2% target, why would the Fed be cutting interest rates, especially if they also think that if there is a recession, that it's not going to be that bad?
Well, and this isn't just an interest rate story, it's also a balance sheet story, and we saw the balance sheet increase dramatically over the past 2 weeks.
If anyone has any suggestions, feel free to let me know in the chat.
Not necessarily stimulative, some people will point out.
You can always have a look.
Loans to certain banks
Again,
at the same
not
time.
overdoing things.
This central bank kill inflation if it keeps going back to the same crisis era tools to try to solve
OP is just continuing to look very, very bearish. Just falling. All the way down. Yeah, that's probably going to stop there, to be fair. It's sold off quite a lot. Matic looks okay as well, to be fair. Looks pretty good for that break. Bam. It's on a... It's also almost kind of in an ascending channel here. You can't really see it that well on the daily. You can get it a little bit better on the 4 hour. As you can see here, see that? And this is your key level here. Already tested 1, 2, 3 times. But if we break, that's gonna start sparking some sell side interest. As things stand, those 2 altcoins look pretty mean to go down. Oh, right. Let me just move this out of the way because I'm just getting confused. Yeah, this could very much hold, come down, and come down as far as here. That's your level that you're kind of looking at. You could actually push all the way down.
Well, that's a really good question, Lisa. A lot of people are confused.
Very weak buy side. See this? Very weak buy side. I mean, this is just the first first hour to the new 4 hour candle.
They can then keep in their accounts so they have enough money in case there are withdrawals. They're not going to be able to use it to make loans, and they're not going to be
It's going to be interesting. Let's see what we can get. That's holding. Still space for it to move up. And if we move up, bear in mind that's past that 50, and then we could potentially look at that 100. Nice rebound off that bottom, off that trend line as well. It's a nice little reset. See that? It's a nice little reset. It's interesting, guys. Interesting.
Taking a look at what some of the loans are that banks are extending as we look for the senior loan officer survey next week.
This could very, very easily flip and go down very heavily. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the likes. Da.
There's growing bipartisan support for a ban or buyout. TikTok's CEO faced 5 hours of questioning from Democrats and Republicans. Lawmakers are demanding to know whether U.S. data could end up in the hands of the Chinese government. Senator Mark Warren of Virginia spoke about the hearing. Warner says Chinese companies have to turn over the data to China.
And I kind of feel for the CEO because he doesn't have an answer. You know, end of the day, TikTok is owned by ByteDance. ByteDance is a Chinese company. Chinese law, as of 2017, says every Chinese company, their first obligation is not shareholders or customers. Their first obligation is they got to turn over any information or any kind of ability to manipulate content to the Communist Party of China.
Senator Mark Warren spoke with Joe Matthew on Bloomberg Sound On. Former President Trump is lashing out on social media against the Manhattan District Attorney as a New York City grand jury considers whether to indict the former president in connection with the Stormy Daniels hush money case. DA Alvin Bragg says Trump created a false expectation of his arrest in connection with its investigation into a hush money payment made in 2016 to the adult film star. This comes as a federal appeals court has ordered Trump lawyer Evan Corcoran to testify about his communications with Trump concerning the handling of classified materials. Live from the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studios, this is Global News, 24 hours a day, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in over 120 countries. I'm Michael Barr, and this is Bloomberg.
Getting a little bit of movement in prices is nice. Quite a lot of sell side on that break. Bam. Very big buy side currently.
We're going to go live to Taipei.
Mike Chris is more from Hong Kong.
In Davos, Switzerland, are David Weston.
Bloomberg's Tommaso Ebhart is more from Milan. Bloomberg's Simon Demikan reports from Istanbul.
Bloomberg Radio, on the ground, everywhere.
My single solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a move down. Very little volume on that move up. It's going to be a little bit of brewing time.
With the latest in AI-powered legal analytics, business insights, and workflow tools. With guidance from our experts, you'll grasp
Give it a little bit of brewing time before going again.
better results for the practice of law, the business of law, the future of law. The difference is Bloomberg Law. Learn more at bloomberglaw.com.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Those
are just joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
$1 billion in assets under management. We offer an array of tailored investment strategies, including equity, fixed income, and balanced portfolios.
We're looking at potential further shorts on Bitcoin. We're looking for this to hold, move back down. Now, could very well push a little bit into the structure. Okay. There's been decent amount of overextensions, so yeah. I mean, overextension here, could still get it again. But yeah, ideally stick to this level here, start moving back down. Buy side volume still very weak.
The question, how do you stress test against a Twitter rant? And that has been sort of some of the questions. How do you anticipate the unanticipated? That was Dan Tarullo, former Fed governor, speaking on balance of power as we talk about bank issues and the concerns under the hood. One big question mark has been the value.
Thank you for the likes, guys. Very much appreciated.
Residential, and particularly on the coasts. And there's no one better for insight.
Yeah, hopefully we can make that move.
President and CEO of Miller Samuel, who joins us right now. Jonathan, I want to start there. This question around commercial real estate values that a lot of people have been pointing to as a potential.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's probably more true than we realize.
Gold has been on an absolute rampage. Oil's been on a rampage. This morning was perfect. I mean, still got room. Still got room. Oil's finding a little bit of a bottom. S&P down 1%. It's pretty big. Look at that. Again, very little buy side as well. Now this is looking weak. Very weak. Nasdaq down. That's Could actually potentially get a very nice short here. It's about 12,500.
There's a lot of issues to unpack there, and I want
Could
to
get a
start with
sell-off.
well, if
Could
it's
get a
50%
sell-off.
occupancy, does that mean that you need to see a 50% decline in valuation for some of this office space in big cities?
Well, the short answer is yes, that's certainly possible. We're already seeing significant drop. The numbers aren't reflecting that yet because with commercial real estate, you have people with 5, 10-year leases at a rate that was market prior to the restructuring or pricing. So it's going to be a long process, but we're certainly seeing that. One of the reasons why landlords are unable to essentially, or why you're not seeing the market levels drop as much as they have been, is because they also have debt service to cover, and that debt service was based on the cash flows that existed before the reset in the whole market. So I think this is a long, slow process.
How much, Jonathan, does some of the concerns around recent banks, in particular Signature, which accounted for a significant
Could get a short on the Nasdaq.
nation, a disproportionate amount?
Could actually get just a move very quickly to that.
I think it accelerates it probably at an uncomfortable rate to landlords themselves.
Still looks relatively strong.
For a lot of landlords with what are known as rent-stabilized apartments in the residential world, and
Doesn't look too bad actually.
lender to service the business. So it is going to make things more expensive for landlords in that sector.
Can we dovetail this over into the residential sector? And you talked about New York, and I would pair San Francisco with that. I know they're unique stories, but some people would argue if office space is getting decimated and people are not going back to the offices, it also will let people live wherever they want. More people are moving to the south, to Florida, to the Sun Belt. At what point is this disconnect between residential in New York and commercial uncomfortable and needing to be bridged?
Well, I think it's already
As mentioned also, guys, there'll be a decent amount of you that didn't join us this morning. But yeah, we'll get a full market update out for you later on this evening. We'll just let the price action do its thing, close off for the week, and then we'll do a full breakdown. It won't be sent out here on TradingView. Okay, it will be elsewhere, so just bear that in mind. Otherwise, you'll be searching on TradingView forever, never actually finding anything. But yeah, we will leave you with a full update ahead of the weekend, so at least you're updated and you know kind of what's going on. But yeah, it's been a pretty busy week. Lots of movement, lots of data, lots of things happening. Banks going insolvent, them being rescued. Yeah. Not only that, obviously, we got the interest rate decision, we got CPIs. Lots and lots going on.
Might get a little nervous, especially with banks that are disproportionate lenders to real estate investors of all types having issues, and say, wait a second, this could actually portend a pretty significant downturn in tandem with what we saw in the housing crisis, particularly in areas that are big cities that typically have been office space havens that will no longer have the same allure. Do you agree, or do you think that there is some sort of buffer or something to kind of offset those gloom and doom prognostications?
I've not entered that Nasdaq trade just yet. I'm just gonna wait a little bit, be patient with it before going in. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the follows as well. Always majorly appreciated. Yeah, hopefully we can get this break. If we break through these trend lines, so if Bitcoin makes a nice move to the downside, right? So, and I mean a downside towards this, so it's already broken out of its trend line. It's coming, it's retesting it as potential new resistance. Now it could probably going to get a little bit of a period of messing about in terms of tested resistance, come back, or test support, push up, test resistance, see if we either break up or move down. So it's just building structure essentially. But if we break down, start moving towards kind of these levels here, and essentially all the way down to here, which is kind of the bottom of a potential range. Okay, as you can see here, we've got that 100 moving average there as well. Then yeah, these altcoins will be breaking through these trend lines and quite likely to see something like this, like a very nice move down, something like this as well. So yeah, could potentially see some nice shorting opportunities here. We do need, I mean, the dollar index. So it's Friday. It's the last day of the week, right? Or the official trading week for traditional markets. Your dollar had a very strong move to the downside, as you can see here. Came to this liquidity area once and actually rebounded. See this candle here? It's a strong candle. It's a strong buy side candle. And we're getting this reaction on as well, the daily candle reaction. Now it's not really a strong sell side reaction here. Now we do still have 2 hours on that 4 hour candle, but it's not strong, so it really wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we got some structure here, so if we play it to the side here, comes down, tests, and actually moves towards this level, could even potentially push past that level, just because it's quite a strong reaction from that trend line down here, that we could actually make that move and see this actually pull back down. Your buy side is still very weak, doesn't look major here either, so yeah, things could flip around, see a nice move back down, so we'll see. It's kind of almost in limbo right now. We broke down, I'm building up some structure, but yeah, we're kind of in the middle zone, so it could also break up and push up.
Coming up at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, Mark Lasry, co-founder and CEO of Avenue Capital Management, talking about the private credit impulse and how that plays at a time of potential liquidity mismatches and price distortions. From New York, this is Bloomberg.
Want some movement? Okay. We should start to see a little bit of movement kind of pick up as we edge closer towards this New York Open.
We will have to show our own productivity gains.
Privacy is a hugely important issue. It's extraordinary what chip technology can achieve.
The Bloomberg Technology Podcast every weekday.
Subscribe today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or at Bloomberg.com. Today, nearly all business is international business. The same goes for business disputes. That's why the International Center for Dispute Resolution provides a faster, more efficient approach to dispute resolution.
Let's see.
American Arbitration Association, the ICDR is the
I'm seeing a little bit of a push up.
resolution services. Find out why global expertise matters. Visit ICDR.org.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Bloomberg Television, first in global business news.
Some markets matter, and they are moving.
Yields should lower globally.
From New York to San Francisco.
Headlines involving Twitter.
From London to Hong Kong.
It has been a week of huge gyration.
The world turns to Bloomberg for market-moving headlines.
All eyes are on what's going on in the tech space.
The dollar really taking control here.
Bloomberg Television, the Bloomberg Business app, and Bloomberg.com. Check your local listings for the cable or satellite provider in your area.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge, and there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then, you know, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and
You're right. We're 46 minutes away from the next set of data to come out.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com and the Bloomberg Business app. This is Bloomberg Radio. This is Bloomberg Surveillance.
We're looking at what's happening among the banks and asking, is there going to be some tightening of credit conditions?
If we didn't have this banking crisis, then this would have been a more hawkish result.
How much will depend on how successful they are at ring fencing and limiting spread from the current situation.
Fed doesn't want to look as if it's doing a U-turn quite yet with inflation still running as hot as it is.
The risk of a hard landing is higher now because the Fed isn't going to really know what's the appropriate policy to do.
Bloomberg Surveillance with Tom Keene and Paul Sweet on Bloomberg Radio.
Good Friday morning from the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studio in New York City for our worldwide audience. Tom Keene is out today. Lisa Robles is sitting in for Tom again today. Equity futures point to a lower open this morning.
All right, got a new hourly candle.
3.32% on the commodities front. WTI crude oil is lower, just over $67 a barrel. Gold, it's higher, just under $2,020 an ounce. And Bitcoin, a little bit lower here, trades at just about 20.
Come on, give me some movement. Crypto's just been lagging today.
European banks, particularly Deutsche Bank, seeing some weakness here in today's trading. Let's kick things off and get more color on this pre-market equity trading. We can do that today with Bloomberg Markets reporter Jess Medin. Jess, what are we looking at?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
What a
We
week
made it.
it has been. We made it, but it looks like it's going to be a bumpy Friday. So I'm taking a look at shares of Deutsche Bank, ticker symbol DB. So this is the German lister, but shares listed specifically in the U.S. Those tumbling about 9%. So on pace for the biggest decline since March of last year. So that did follow a spike in credit default swaps that now do renew those concerns over the health of European banks.
Yeah, that's the problem with your CDs.
As much as we were at 15%.
But there's no real news per se on Deutsche. I kind of feel like it's like nobody wants to go into the weekend holding some of these things.
That's
you know?
exactly what a lot of my sources have been telling me. So
Da 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 da.
another headline that's causing a little bit renewed jitters here. So you're seeing more broadly the financial sector suffering those widespread share declines. Another headline, though, taking a look at UBS. So ticker symbol, not surprisingly, UBS. So these are shares listed in the U.S. down about 4%. So Bloomberg News did report that the bank's under scrutiny in a Justice Department probe.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a great deal going on right now. There's only going to be a little bit of a pause on price action in the crypto space until that New York Open, until we get the next set of data, really. Now, as mentioned, kind of looking at a potential short here on the Nasdaq. Can also look at the E-mini. Have a little look in Q1. It's got a little bit of a bottom. Yeah, I mean, also the move on your commodities. So your I'm on the Nifty. Your oil and your gold. I mean, this is on the rebounds. Okay. Your gold. I mean, it looks like it's going to make that push. Could see that push break through here and actually move towards that's 2010 maybe. That previous high there could be a move. So yeah, it's a bit dangerous though, I'm not gonna lie. It's already come up, tested, so it's not really ideal. It's not giving you the best sort of entry point. So yeah, it's Friday as well. Things could turn around so quickly here. So we'll look at natural gas. Not the best of structure either. Yeah, it's not. Things aren't looking fantastic. Let's have a little look at euro dollar. Bouncing off that 200 on the hour. Previous structure here as well. Could get a move up higher here. Data that we're getting is US data. Is the dollar going to strengthen? Is the dollar going to weaken? That's the question. A dangerous one. US dollar, yen. Broken through structure here. Some dangerous price action. Okay, this is starting to flip over. Looking a little bit more promising. See how quick it stops. Yeah, the only thing that I can really see and that I've picked out is a potential short on the Nasdaq if you can break through that trend line. Where is it? Oh, why have I not got it on here? Yeah. See how it fits best. Should we go from here? Yeah, still a little bit dangerous. Still could see that push up. So that's potential that we're looking at. Ideally, I want to capitalize on a couple of crypto trades just before we enter that weekend. So that's what I'll be looking at mainly. Came perfectly into that area. Right, where are we going?
And lastly, Margaret, just with former President Donald Trump, some of his legal issues coming to the forefront, at least here in New York City, what's the feeling with Biden and with the administration about how this may play out, how they may respond? Yes.
Yeah, there's not much. Now, what are we looking for? We'll pull a fib, bottom to top, and see how things kind of react at these levels. Now, again, as mentioned earlier, okay, all we're looking for is either structure here, it's going to rebound. We'll check structure again, pull a fib from top to bottom, see if it's holding, and it's just going to be a movement up and down until it breaks through kind of levels. So we'll see. It's either coming down or it's moving up. So this is where things just go up, go down, test out some levels, build up some momentum, liquidity, and then go for a break, go for a bit of a larger move. So it's not going to be the most exciting price action. So do just bear that in mind. Don't be expecting anything absolutely outrageous to happen. Again, as mentioned, it's Friday, last official day of the trading week. It's naturally going to be kind of relatively low volume. It's just what happens. That's why a lot of people don't trade Fridays. A lot of people just end up closing their positions Thursday and just leave Friday out. Just fair enough. But obviously, if you trade crypto, you can trade it 7 days a week. Now, again, just a little bit of a tip. Just it's good to get in the habit to cash in your profits for the week, either on a Thursday or Friday, and then especially if you trade crypto as well. Then you can just go again on a Saturday. A lot of the time, so you get all the movement happening for the week, right? Hits Thursday, Friday, and things start to slow down, start to turn around. You don't really get like strong kind of directional moves. It's very kind of short movement. So whenever you're kind of trading a Thursday, second half of Thursday or Friday, even a weekend, there's very low volume. Those low volume days, the way you want to trade is very short term. Okay, don't be chasing kind of larger kind of targets a lot of the time. Go for your short targets. Get in and out. It's a lot more susceptible for kind of turnarounds. So always bear that in mind. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not to say that you will get kind of decent moves in the market. You do get that. It wasn't too long ago when Bitcoin was kind of pumping. There was just a trend every Friday evening. So like when as kind of traditional markets were closing up, Bitcoin would just fly, absolutely fly. So it does happen, but as a general rule of thumb, yeah, you normally get very shallow moves. I think it was like somewhere around here where it was really, really going every Friday. It would just beam it.
Your blood pressure numbers could change your life. Lowering your high blood pressure could save you from a heart attack or stroke. If you've stopped your treatment plan, restart it or talk to your doctor about creating one that works better for you. Start taking the right steps.
Come on then, work for me, work for me. Yes, come down. Alright, we'll see how the 0.5, the 618 holds. If we push straight through the 0.5, 618, that's going to look good. It's going to look good for continuation to the downside. That's if we get there at the moment. Obviously, kind of holding that level for now. So we'll see how things hold over here. But again, just going to be testing levels. Go up, go down, go up. I'm rather pushing up or we're pushing down. Also, thing to bear in mind, I mean, Bitcoin dominance is on the rise. So you're not going to see such huge moves just now on the altcoin market as kind of Bitcoin structures up. But this is now going back into that zone. And we could actually see a much larger dip. And when that happens, that's when the altcoins will start to move heavily. Whether they move heavily to the upside or the downside, Bitcoin will determine that. But, yeah. Don't like that test of that 100 now. We'll see. It's kind of just in middle grounds. It's just in limbo. It's just building up liquidity and momentum. We get in FOMC member Bullard speaks. Not really majorly interested in that, to be honest. The next is in 28 minutes. Manufacturing PMI, S&P Global Composite PMI, Services PMI. That's the important juicy data to come out for the rest of the week. That's where the movement's going to come in. Alright, we got some movement. It's not too bad. I'm just getting about that chart. Didn't realize that it wasn't ticking. And it's still not ticking, so yeah. But it's what it is, what it is. See if we can get something, on the shorts. Nonetheless, this week has been fantastic anyway. This morning was fantastic. So if we give a little bit back to the market, it's all good. This is looking okay. Just need some sell side to start to come in on in terms of volume. and get some sell side. Okay. By the way, guys, those that are just joining us, feel free to chat to us via the chat. If you want us to touch on any TA, feel free to let us know. We're more than happy to go over some stuff. It doesn't necessarily need to be about crypto. It can be anything. Yeah. Make yourselves at home. Also, those that are actually liking the stream as well as following us, thank you very much. Let's see if we can make that push. If we can break that 618 and come all the way down here, be looking good. Just very weak sell side, which I don't like the look of. I do like how it's come back to that trend line, tested and rejected, move back down. Now, even if we hold here, okay, we come back up, hold this level, and then come down. So, just need to watch out for that structure that builds up. We're currently up 23% on FTM, so it's not too bad. 25, it's okay. 30, so nearly 40% now. It's not too bad. So let's see if we can continue. I'm kind of tweeting around that trend line. Zill's looking okay. Yeah, let's see. Here we go, 618. 50% up on FTM right now. See if we can continue pushing. Alright, so we're rebounding off that 618 now, right? So if we're able to hold here, what we'll then do is move that to there, and then we get some more readings. So then we're looking at it holding this area here, right? So somewhere around this region is where we want it to hold. I can get rid of that. We kind of know where we're expecting things to rebound and hold. And then if we get kind of the price action indicating, okay, we're holding on to this area as resistance, then we can look at that actually coming down. But if we breach through here and we start to move up, then yeah, things are looking like, okay, maybe we are going to continue pushing up. So just need to be aware of the next structure that we're playing to. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a bottom. 618 is holding currently. Still relatively weak buy side. Not getting a whole load of buy side here. Kind of lines up nicely with previous structure here as well, that area. So let's see. Dollar isn't doing great deal much. It's very slow price action, isn't it? Very, very slow. Right, yeah, we'll see how things kind of play out in about 90 minutes where we get the next onslaught of data. If we fail to get much, then yeah, I guess we'll wait for the actual official close to the week. Hopefully we get a little bit movement. But yeah, it's not exciting price action today. Still looking relatively good though. Those that are just joining us, feel free to message us in the chat anything you want us to go over. More than happy to do so. Yeah, it's not the most exciting price action right now. Hopefully we get a little bit of movement on that next bit of data that we get out. But yeah, I mean, it's not much. Obviously we capitalized on gold, we capitalized on oil this morning. We're just gonna let it do its thing here. Yeah, oil's clearly rebounded off that level here. But yeah, we've capitalized, so there's no need to go and be greedy in these markets. We capitalized on both trades. So yeah, there's that. Joined us this morning, buzzing. Really lovely trades. I'm just seeing where we can get anything on the crypto side of things, really. A lot of these FX pairs as well, they've all moved already, kind of making some decent movements, so there isn't too much. I mean, see kind of how that US data comes out. Right, we're at that resistance area that we were talking about. See whether we can hold 618. That was, but it's very, very weak buy side. Very weak buy side. I wouldn't buy into that right now. Just Right, I can get rid of that now anyway. I was just 618 test, push back up. See how it holds on to this level here. That's your kind of area where that 382, the 0.5, the 618 is held at, as well as that 200. So see how it holds up. See how it holds up. Hopefully we can hold it and actually make that move down. Be nice. Setting some levels, setting some grounds. Come on, give me that opening bell. Okay, we're getting some movement now. Come on. See what we can get. See how it holds on to previous structure here. We've still got room for things to move back up. Just bear that in mind. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Great to be back on. I think we take a step back and through history you can see whether the financial crisis like LTCM feeds into the economic crisis that follows. And for us, we're sort of trying to disaggregate the two. Is this just a Wall Street issue, or is actually going to be an economic issue on Main Street? I think that's the key question here, and I think one of the ways.
Come on, give me some movement, man.
Seeing that Bonnie was obviously coming down, saying that he's going to have to be some financial conditions. But as we know, 3-4 weeks ago, we knew that the economy was running hot, inflation was sticky, jobs were still very plentiful. But it's very difficult to fill. So from that perspective, that hasn't really changed. It's now looking forward what do we think over this next year is going to look like, and whether this is a storm in the teacup, or indeed it's actually the pre-runner to something much more serious.
Regardless, Colin, of whether you do see some sort of contagion or some sort of holistic systemic dysfunction, there is a concern, and it's growing, that especially smaller banks are going to constrain lending a lot more, and that's changed the economic backdrop. Do you agree that just in and of itself, that alone would bring forward the chance of recession?
I think so, and I think if you read through
Looking a bit better. Now we're about 12 minutes away from that US data, right? So let's get some movement, hopefully. Ideally, we want this to find support and start moving back up. Mm-hmm.
They underperformed dramatically. Now that we've got rates coming down, we've got the expectation that rates will go even lower. We've got some of these big tech names rallying so far this year. Is tech still going to be a leader going forward, in your opinion? Is that you guys still view tech as potentially a group that can really lead this market?
Yeah, I think if you look back through history, in any of the bear markets, it's only really a bear market when the leadership changes. It's never been the sectors that have led into bear markets that led out the other side. So we have to be careful with that. But
Close, guys. 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. The wait is nearly done.
that have a growth skill and can generate revenue and have protected business models from a market perspective, then those are going to do well. That's where people are going to try, and then try to hide in a downturn, and then you start to look at the growth and the quality companies in order to fill your equity portfolio with. But then on the other side, there are parts of the market that are already priced for those severe slowdowns. So if you look at high yield spreads, if you look at emerging markets, these countries, equity market, high yield market, they have already started to price and already include in the price a risk premium for a significant slowdown.
I got to pick up on that. I'm sorry, because a lot of people are debating that heavily, whether credit spreads are accurately pricing right now a recession or whether they just are showing some minor sense of concern, and whether there really is any divergence at all. How do you argue, Colin, that right now credit spreads are pricing in significant pain, even though those credit spreads are substantially below where they have been in the past heading into a recession?
So with Visa, we've been more focused on the high yield end of the market rather than investment grade, and that's where we've been using as a lot of source of funds for some of our other views, mainly because we saw that it was a duration play with a little bit of spread protection, but not taking into consideration any credit issues. But if you look at the high yield market, we can see the quality of high yield market is better. We saw a lot of the bad companies, the bad loans that would have come into high yield.
We couldn't actually ask for more stale price action right now. Absolutely dead in the waters.
So to me, high yield is giving you 500 basis points of risk premium. If you look over a long period of time,
Nearly there though.
generating good returns.
We could get some crazy numbers in about 8 minutes, and we could either moon or absolutely smash it to the ground. So, starting to get a little bit of movement to that downside.
Think about emerging markets. I know you guys you've spent a lot of time there. What is your view of emerging markets here, given kind of the economic backdrop we have globally here?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so within our equity allocation, we've actually allocated money to our global sustainable emerging market franchise, which is really looking at emerging markets, but also thinking about the future as well. So we're actually long emerging markets within our equity, but we're neutral overall, and we feel reasonably okay. But that's going to be a 2-3 year type time horizon in which for that view to work out. So as a multi-asset investor, we're always looking at a different time horizon. So to me, high yield is about shorter term in terms of before the default cycle starts, and then sort of the emerging markets and picking up cheap valuations, cheap assets as this turmoil happens is a key for a longer term strategy.
Hey, Colin, I know you're co-head of Sustainable Multi-Asset Solutions. Here in the U.S., we're getting some pushback on sustainability, on ESG. It's become probably more political than
some people would like to see. How do you guys view sustainable investing in the U.S. versus maybe other parts of the world?
That's a very tricky question and a bit of a minefield there. So if I take back and how we approach it is when we're talking to clients about what their objectives are about risk, return, and sustainability, we let them guide us in terms of what type of portfolio we want to put together. We believe that
This is your area of liquidity just here. Could get a little bit of a dip. Bam, bam. Hopefully, if that plays out, we'll get a nice move to the downside. If we get something like this play out. There's that 50 as well.
Unfair question or rude question of the day because it's been a long week and I'm sitting in Tom Keene's chair, so apologies in advance. But do we have to put to bed this idea that single name picking is going to outperform in an era where everything has defied all logic and all narratives, and this market has exerted the most pain on the most people? It sounds like our line is breaking up. I think we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for being with us, Colin Graham, Robeco, head of multi-asset strategies. But yeah, that's been one question for me. Has been, people talked about how tech would no longer lead and how banks would lead, and this was sort of the trade heading into this year. And then this year happened, and basically the market said, "You want something to happen?"
Altcoins are starting to slightly move. 5 minutes out from the data. Slightly move. See if we can get a break. Continuation. Bam. Fingers crossed. That'll be so good. That'll work right in our favor. So you see, obviously we got that bounce off that 618, but realistically we should have got that continuation if things really wanted to move up. We've kind of just dipped back down. So, I mean, let's see. This is your area. You don't want it to really push above here. If it starts to push up here, then, yeah, not looking too good.
First lawsuit has been filed against the company by a 68-year-old grandmother who lost one of her eyes as a result of using these eye drops. Ophthalmologist Dr. Ashley Persett.
Definitely check your medicine cabinet to see if you might have any of these products that are in your home. And if you do,
These 4 people have had an eye surgically removed because of this.
But, yeah.
Carried out multiple airstrikes in Syria last night against Iran-aligned groups.
Alright, here we go. 4 minutes out from the data. We're starting to make...
And national security fears over the Chinese Communist Party's perceived ability to use personal information for political gains. CEO Zhou Chu tried to assure lawmakers in that a firewall protects the U.S. from any Chinese government intrusion, but some members of Congress, like California's Democratic Representative Anna Eshoo, weren't buying.
You spoke in your opening statement about a firewall relative to the data. But the Chinese government has that data.
I have seen no evidence that the Chinese government has access to that data. They have never asked us. We have not provided.
Well, you know what? I find that actually preposterous.
By the way, we're going to have more on
What the hell?
Meanwhile, children and teens in Utah would lose access to social media apps.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Hold this level here. That's what we want. Back down. Alright, we're 2 minutes out. 2 minutes out from data. 2 minutes out. It's looking good. As long as we can continue holding these levels. Okay. Ideally, we want it to hold this level here. We don't want it to go back up. Now, it's very short-term structure, so it's not the end of the world if we do. But ideally, we want to start seeing these small incremental changes on the lower time frame. Kind of hold here, bam, and kind of to build up that strength to actually move down. So we got that break of that trend line, which is the first step. Now we need it to hold. Come down. Looking good. Looking good. If we can get those breaks of those trend lines, we're in the money. Ooh. Okay, so we got 20 seconds. Let's see what happens. Alright, data's in. So PMIs are up. Up and up. Okay, so manufacturing PMI 49.3. Previous 47.3. Expected 47. S&P Global Composite PMI 53.3. Previous 50.1. Expected 47.5. So quite a big difference. Let's have a little look. Yeah, we're getting that push up. That's what we want to see, guys. That's what we want to see. Services PMI 53.8 compared to previous 50.6. Consensus at 50.5. Okay, so consensus off by a good amount. Okay, so coming in at much higher readings.
Commonwealth Financial Network can help you accelerate your growth by tapping into intellectual capital, targeted marketing strategies, and tailored development programs. Everything you need to grow your practice your way. Welcome to your advisor advantage. Welcome to Commonwealth. To learn more, visit commonwealth.com. Commonwealth Financial Network.
So yeah, higher readings. Okay, so S&P Global Composite over 50, services PMI over 50 as well. Quite decent amount. What does that mean? Basically means kind of expansion is happening in the services sector, for instance, which in theory leads to strength in inflation. So yeah, it's not good news essentially. So yeah, manufacturing PMI previous 47.3. The actual figure that's just come out 49.3. So 0.7 on the 50% mark. So a slight contraction. But it's higher than your previous. Okay, so yeah, it's also kind of indicating that things are on the uprise. So yeah, inflation could come in hot. Movement as some of you noticed, it's been dry ever since the morning session. It's just died off. So let's see where we can go. Getting a little bit of movement, so it's all good. Let's see if we can just really continue moving down. Your altcoins are moving nicely, at least. That FTM trade is nice. We're up 100% on that FTM trade. So not too shabby. Let's see if we can continue down. Hopefully we can. Just needs, it's looking good. It's looking good.
Well, this is kind of unique in that this was truly a bipartisan hearing where lawmakers on both sides of the aisle seem to agree and to have kind of the same degree of hostility toward this platform, to be honest. Obviously, it was on both sides that lawmakers were indicating they did not believe Chu and his answers. He was reminded repeatedly that he was under oath and that it is crime to lie to Congress. So that just goes to show you how the degree to which none of them were buying it, and the fact that you did have both Democrats and Republicans on this committee kind of expressing the same concerns, the same degree of skepticism.
There's your dollar index making that nice move to the upside, right? So hopefully we can find resistance quickly here and start to move back down. Now Bitcoin's, I mean crypto in general, especially Bitcoin, I mean the altcoins are moving a little bit nicer, but just very, very slow today. Very, very slow. There's not much going on. So yeah, let's see.
Well, it would definitely be difficult technically, given that there's VPNs, for example, where you can, operate your phone outside of the normal protocol, if you will. So there is the concern of, can you actually get this off of everyone's phone, even if you were to decide to say yes, it is banned. So the technicality part of it would be something probably to figure out after.
What is happening?
The government has banned it on government phones. So it has happened to a certain extent already. Extending that to the broader public and the 150 million Americans who use it might be more of a challenge. But yeah, there definitely is a real feeling that if they decide it's something to do, it is something they are going to try to do.
The TikTok CEO did make what to me sounded like a valid point, which is, hey, we're no different than Google, Facebook, any of that kind of stuff, Snap. So really, and in the sense that we've got a big audience and we collect a lot of data on our users. All the social media platforms do that, as well as the e-commerce sites and everything else that we use on a day-to-day basis. The only difference, and it is obviously a huge difference, is the ownership. So I guess it just comes down to that, right?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, you can see the point, right, when it comes to the questions around content moderation and making sure that there's nothing that children would be subjected to, that they shouldn't be, for example. And so the point is valid when he says, look, that's a problem across all social platforms that isn't unique to TikTok. But on the national security and data issue, it does come back to the Chinese ownership and the fact that this is data that could be shared with the Chinese Communist Party.
Okay, right. Yeah, things are just warming up here. I don't see much going on at all. It's just setting some structure. It's just very, very slow movement, very low volume. The altcoins are looking nice. The FTM trade's looking nice. The ZIL trade is warming up as well. We've given plenty of space for both trades to, if things want to move up a little bit, we've given it enough room. So yeah, I guess guys, it's just, let's be patient. Let's see what happens between now, European close. If nothing continues to look on the European close, we'll see where things are at then. And potentially just continue through with it for the New York close and the end of the week. Okay, we could get a little bit of movement there. So yeah, we guess just stay patient with these crypto trades. I mean, the bulls don't look strong. There's more sell side pressure more than anything. But yeah, it's just very low volume in general. So just don't. We're not getting those big breakouts, okay, or those that kind of strong directional breakouts. It's just set in structure. I mean, there's no volume at all. So yeah, we'll just be patient with it, okay. It will eventually make a move, okay. It's just going to take a little bit of time. But yeah, those that joined us, thank you very much for joining us, okay. We'll, as mentioned, we will update you. We'll record an update this evening. We'll get it sent out. Just bear in mind, it's not going to be on TradingView, okay. But yeah, we'll put out an update for you all ahead of the weekend. But yeah, all right. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.